Many of you listening to me have experienced being hurt, betrayed, or rejected at one point or another in your lifetime. I have to, quite a number of times actually, but very recently, even more profoundly than in the past. It was like a barrage of rejection and disappointment was being shot at me. Sometimes I wake up and wish it was all just a dream, but it isn't. Recently, I was speaking to the Lord about one of these rejections and asking Him how I'm expected to trust someone who betrayed that trust severely. And He answered me with something I never actually considered before that conversation. He took me to the story of His crucifixion. He said, "You guys often focus on Judas's betrayal, but did you really consider what it meant to be denied by Simon 3 times? Peter was one of my closest disciples. He was my inner circle disciple. He was the first disciple I renamed. I called him a rock. But Peter, rather than a reed, Simon. Sounds like a joke now considering, right? He had special experiences with me, walking on water, witnessing my transfiguration. He confessed that I was the Messiah. Yet, the same Peter denies me in public 3 times. Imagine the confusion among my early disciples when they heard that I was arrested. Breaking news: soldiers arrest Jesus of Nazareth. And quickly they go about seeking for my inner circle disciples for answers and comforts, only to be informed that Peter denied me publicly. Their hearts were broken. Their faith was shattered even before I got to the cross. Not because of Judas, but because of Peter. Yet, after my resurrection, I entrusted the leadership of the early church to the same Peter. And look how great he did when he partnered with my Holy Spirit. Well, I won't bore you with the remaining details of that conversation, but I just want to encourage you that the rejection, the hurt, the betrayal, the heartbreak, the dismissal, it is working in you and for you a far greater purpose. The word of the Lord tells us that our light afflictions are small potatoes compared to the coming good times. And it also tells us that unless a grain of corn falls to the ground, it stands alone. But when it dies, it bears much fruit. You're about to enter into your much fruit season. So, stop holding on to that pain. Stop holding on to the memories of the rejection. I know it's hard, but God's not asking you to do it on your own. If God is sending you back to the person or to the organization or to the group, whatever it is in your own case, who hurt you, who denied you, who rejected you, don't try to figure out how you love them again or how you trust that person or how you walk with them. Just allow God to do His regenerating work of love in you, and His Spirit will lead you part-time when relating with these people. Focus on your relationship with God. Something amazing happened to me this week and I cannot explain it. I had the opportunity of showing love to someone who hurt me recently. And it wasn't something I premeditated, it just happened naturally. And when I was having the conversation with the Holy Spirit, after taking me through the lesson of Peter, he reminded me of that experience. And he said, I did it then, didn't I? I can do it over and over again. So just let him do it. So the next time you wonder how to relate with this person, just ask the Holy Spirit to guide you. And don't forget that the same Peter who denied Jesus before 3 people ended up preaching about Jesus before multitudes. And in his very first sermon, 3,000 people were saved. So God can walk through broken pieces. He can walk through broken relationships. He can walk through broken friendships. He can even walk through broken marriages. So allow him. God bless you.